This is what AI generation looks like when you let the tool do the thinking for you. And this is what it looks like when you take total control. That second clip isn't a better model. It's the same tool everyone else has access to. Magnific, Kling, Nano Banana, GPT Image 2 run through a completely different process. Most people are one step away from that plastic look and they don't know which step. I learned this pipeline directly from David Litwin. He runs both Pure Fusion Media and Detail AI modeling agency, and he built this exact system for commercial character work. I followed his structure, but I've also rebuilt the prompt architecture underneath it. I wrote the original 12 essential prompt elements for a prompting framework when I wrote my book in 2023 for Midjourney. But with all the updates in AI and its competency that's now available, I've expanded it to what I call the 16 elements of generative control, specifically to make both David's pipeline repeatable for anyone, but also for you with your creative exploration to be able to get exactly what you're looking for. In this video, I'm going to give you the full 6-step pipeline and the 16-element framework behind it. The stuff that actually matters, not the surface level prompt tips that you've already seen 100 times. Let me start by telling you what we're doing. This is one of those things that if you don't know where you're going, then the whole process, you can kind of get lost. It's sort of like somebody tells you to jump in the car and we're going to go somewhere, and they don't tell you where you're going. There's like, and you make this turn, and then you're going to pay attention to this building, and you make this turn, and you're like, I'm kind of lost because I don't know where we're even heading. So here's the thing. What we're trying to do is create a highly detailed, super realistic, and believable human that's AI generated. Now, we've seen some of the stuff that's possible working with Nano Banana and ChatGPT's GPT Image 2 and some of the other platforms, even Midjourney. I like the tool. But one of the things that we find is there's what people have called the Uncanny Valley. It's things that look almost real, but something's not translating properly. And so that disconnect from reality creates an unease or dis-ease that makes you feel off. We're going to avoid that by creating super realistic characters. Now, the process of doing this is going to be a little bit different than the flow that you've seen from everybody else. And this comes from David Litwin, and I actually really like his process and his structure. So the first place we're going to start is we're going to break the mold and go to Magnific. If this is your first time taking a look at Magnific, let me give you a quick overview of where we're going. What we're creating here is going to be an image, and this image is going to give us some variations of faces or profiles that we can work with for our character. Now, with this, we just basically need an image. And so you'll look at the page, and on the left-hand side, there are some options in navigation, and then right across the middle of the screen are some options. I'm interested in image. When I drop on image, you'll see some images that I've created recently, as well as a structure for, well, what kind of image are you interested in? In this case, we want to go to the image generator. So that's the first one that's here. All right, and I'm going to actually replace this prompt here. And you'll notice it says create a single horizontal 4-panel editorial casting board. Okay, what is happening? What I'm doing is I'm telling the AI, in this case Magnific, that I want it to create a single image with 4 individual images inside of it. The purpose for this is so we can have 4 variations to work from. And because we're choosing a setting of 4 as the number of images it's going to generate, then I'm going to end up with 16 different character possibilities to work with. This is perfect for my purposes here. So in this case, I'm going to create a male around 30 years old. And the structure, much as you see with the females here, is we want them in a black shirt and we want a neutral white background behind them. A couple other things we're going to note is you'll see the parameters is going to be a 16 by 9 widescreen. Now 16 is divisible by 4 perfectly, so it's an easy thing to work with. So we're going with a 16 by 9. We're doing 4 variations. We have a prompt here that I'll share with you in my Substack. But here's the cool thing is 2 more options. We want to make sure that we're using the Seedream 4K. Now you'll notice that Seedream 5 Pro just came out, and it is a possibility of using this, but notice that the option is a 2K. That's currently the default for the Seedream 5 Pro. So I'm going to avoid that for now, and I want to make sure I'm working with the Seedream 4K. And this is going to give us the best visual option for our character. It's hyper detailed, and it actually really embeds a lot of personality into the render. Even more than GPT Image 2 and Nano Banana can do on our first image. So this is our starting point. Also for reference, we want to make sure that we're using this fashion photo. And this is a style. So if you look under styles, when I click on that, you'll see that I've got a whole series of options I can work with. We want to make sure that we're using fashion photo for this particular image. And once you've added that, you'll see it here. When we're ready to go, we'll just click on generate. And so here's the options that we're getting. Let's actually look at these. Here's our first, our second, our third, and our fourth. Now, these are all fine. I can't really say I have a complaint with any of these, but one of the things I'm finding is that initial render, there's not a lot of personality. Now, it says give each man a separate presence, one intense and brooding, and it seems to be that all of them kind of went with this intense brooding look. So what if we're wanting something with a little more pop, a little more personality? Well, we can modify this prompt ever so slightly to make sure that that conveys. Give each man a separate presence. Give each a quirky personality, a unique look, and a bit of fun. Okay, so let's try it with this. This is part of the game, is we need to continue to give the AI variations. And the more we refine the variation to get the look we're after, the better the result can be. Now, this last one, it was all very much styled after a fashion magazine style. But what if we wanted to add a little more pizzazz and personality? Well, this is how we can do that, just by refining the prompt and the requested element. So let's take a look at these. Kind of like this guy. This has got an interesting look to his face. And that's interesting. This one decided not to give us any of those details that were asked for. The 4 images, it only gave us 3. So what we're able to see here is it's giving us some things, and then we can kind of refine and play with the prompt to get the result we're after. We can strip this prompt down a bit. Now I'm starting to see a little bit of uniqueness in what we're getting, particularly on this page. Here we've got some funky hairstyles that are happening, the spiked hair, and there's some stuff that's going on there that's really interesting. Let's go back and take a look at the other shots. Of course, some of these, it's not quite getting the rules right as far as the dividing of things, but that's okay. We don't need it perfect. We need really the visual representation of our character to have some pop. And again, this guy, I kind of like what's happening here. All of these with their hair is unique. And let's do this one more time just because I like what we're getting there. This is useful when you've got an unlimited renders option. But if you don't have that, then you want to go find something that's going to work and be able to work consistently in the future. Once we've kind of got these characters created, we can use them ongoing in the future. We don't have to go and generate a whole new set every time. Like his hair. Now this guy's got a lot of personality. So does this one. And so does this guy. Lots of things happening here. Okay, so what we need to do is from this collection of faces, we want to choose one. Which one is most appealing? Now, you guys might have your favorites, but I'm actually going to grab this guy just because, wow, this is different. Now, what I want to do with this is I'm going to download the PNG. So you'll see up here at the top, when I click here, you'll see I can choose to PNG or JPEG, and I'll just choose download. And that's going to download this particular image. What I want to do is take this into Photoshop and edit that image down. We'll do that next. So we're inside of Photoshop, and we're going to open up this image that was just generated in Magnific. All right, here goes. We've got this image that's available, and what I want to do is basically crop this down so I'm only getting this image. Easiest way to do that is use the crop tool. So there's a character, and I can simply just save it as the exact same thing I just created. And unquit Photoshop. I don't need that anymore. What do we do now? Well, we now have a character that we can use, but we're going to do a little bit of exploration before we actually utilize this character. Shocker, we're not in San Antonio anymore. This video is being recorded in Salt Lake City, a 3-hour plane trip away. But I want to start from this point because we've got a whole transition that's taken place in the storyline of what we're creating here. In this beginning of the video, we actually created this character that you see right here. What I want to do moving forward, though, is we're going to create the perfect environment, the perfect outfit that this guy can embody. Let's get out of the world of AI for just a moment and think through this. You're a creative director. You've got an ad to create, and you're going through a list of headshots of the possible ideal person to fit the mold. Now, in this case, we're going to reverse the order ever so slightly because we've got a model here, and our job is to create something to visually appeal to this character that we're working with. So what does this guy's look convey? When I first saw this guy, I really liked what was happening. There's some interesting stuff going on with his hair and the texture in his face, and his eyes are intense, and I'm like, there's a possibility here. He kind of has a 90s rocker vibe, but in a modern era. The hair is definitely given that hair rocker. But I was thinking this could be a really interesting place to play. Now, with my other renders, the things that you'll find in Substack as I focused around surfing. But with this guy, let's do something totally different. What if we got someone who's kind of got that 90s rocker vibe, but he's really into either skating or skateboarding? I think that kind of vibe has a more appeal to what we're trying to do. Plus, it's something that's not everybody. So we're going to put the rocker vibe outfit on him and let him be a skateboarder. So a little bit of interesting thrash. How do we go about doing this? Well, we're interested in trying to find the ideal environment to place this guy. So think of it from the creative direction of now we're going to do some set design or come up with the ideal set in order to present this character. The next is going to be his outfit. Typically, these kind of things are done by individuals within a team. But if you're trying to run the whole show and create the whole visual, this is how we can go about doing this ourselves. We can begin the process of doing a search. An easy place to do that is with Pinterest. So let's take a look. Okay, so when you come to Pinterest, if you haven't been in a while, you've got a search bar. And in the search bar, we can basically do a search for what we're interested in. And this is one I was kind of playing with, 90s hairband rocker at a skate park. We'll deal with the 90s hairband rocker. Let's actually look at a person in a skate park. Now I'm interested in something that's going to showcase the face and the full figure and kind of give us some personality. So with that in mind, we can kind of scroll through here and find something that we like the lighting of, we like the composition of, and it kind of is exciting for where we're trying to take things. Right off the gate, I really like what's happening in this image, and this one is actually really quite cool. Okay, so this is kind of like a grunge street style, fun visual. I love the background. I love the dystopian kind of cityscape with the graffiti everywhere. This one could be really neat. So if we're interested in this style, what we're looking for is we're not going to take this and reproduce this, not in the normal sense. We're not basically going to switch out our guy. What we're going to do is we're going to give this image to AI and let the large language model observe it and recreate it. Now, in recreating it, it's not looking to create a duplicate, copy paste. We're looking to capture the essence of the image. So what I want to do is literally grab this image, save image as. That's all I wanted was the skatepark.jpg. Now, this is where I want to take this file into ChatGPT and begin exploring how to reverse engineering the prompting in order to get a result that we're after. Okay, so this is ChatGPT, and what I've got here is a simple prompt. You can copy paste pretty much everything in this. I want you to recreate the look of this photo, including the man, the skateboard, background, lighting, setting, etc. for a 2,000 character Nano Banana Pro text prompt. The rest of this you'll be able to understand in my Substack article, but I add being sure to keep in mind my 16 elements of generative control. Now, this is based off of something that I wrote back in 2023 called the 12 Essential Prompt Elements for Midjourney. But with all the advancements that's happened in AI, I've refined that to 16 elements of generative control. So now I want to actually add this image. So it has a reference, add photos and files. Here's the skate park image. I'm going to open that. Here's the image. Here's my prompt, and I'm going to send it. While this is continuing to prompt, I want to throw out there something that's important. Notice that even though we're inside of ChatGPT, which has a fantastic image generator, the GPT Image 2, we're wanting this to write a prompt for Nano Banana Pro. The reason is, one is Nano Banana Pro is exceptional at creating really highly detailed images, and when you do it inside of Magnific, you get it without the little icon on the bottom, and you can get up to 4K images. That works exceptionally well for what we're trying to do. While I love GPT Image 2, its creative capability is limited. It's not as creative or as expressive as what you find in Nano Banana 2. Okay, so we're back, and here's the prompt that it created for us. This is exactly 2,000 characters structured around the 16 elements of generative control. And basically, what those 16 elements are, you can see them broken up here. Subject, wardrobe, pose, setting, composition. Those are keywords that are important for every composition to get the most highly detailed result that you're after. So what I can do with this is I can take and copy it, and we're going to go back into Magnific now. Okay, so inside of Magnific, I'm going with the Google Nano Banana Pro because it has the 4K option. And I've pasted in the prompt. I want to get 4 variations of this. And for the size, we're really looking for an output size that's similar to what we have already. So we're looking for something that's either like a 9:16 or something in that category. 4K is great, and we'll click on generate. As far as what size to work with, you can go with a 9:16 for story size or a 1:1 depending on the layout. The structure here is more about your needs on the end, not so much about a specific flow. So let's take a look at what it's starting to generate for us. Okay, so we now have 4 images, and you'll notice that each of these kind of captured the similar essence to what the original image had. I like this. Here we've got the bowl in the background. There's graffiti. You can definitely see the structure of the buildings behind it, the lighting with the backlight on the character. All of this is lining up with what the original was, but it's a totally different character. Now, what I'll notice is interesting is it does have the distorted reality on the t-shirt. He's got a jean jacket tied around his waist. He's on a skateboard. But each image is unique. Okay, now I like all of these. The challenge here is to pick out the one that we like the best, because ultimately it doesn't really matter what the character looks like. We're interested in the scene in relation to how the character is positioned within this environment, which environment works best for our needs. So looking back through these, this one's kind of cool. I like this one with the multi-layers. And this one's nice. I love that little glow of light behind our character and the backlight lighting around the back of his head. Okay, so with this in mind, I think it's between 1 and 2 are my favorites. Okay, we have our character. We have our scene generation done. We've got a background that looks fantastic that we can work with. Now we need some outfit idea for our character, and I actually came across something that I kind of liked. One Star Clothing has this outfit called a White Skull Hoodie Sleeveless. And I really like the vibe of this. I think it fits our rocker dude really, really well. This becomes a neat little ensemble piece. Now, I think also the jeans should be a fit. This should be just happening with a pair of faded blue jeans, maybe with some tears in the knees. But regardless, this is going to be the top. I've already downloaded this image, and now I have our background, I have our character, and we have a top. What we're going to do next is we're going to take all of these pieces and blend them together in one move. Watch this. So I'm downloading this image, and I'm going to create a new one. Now, which one I'm interested in is I'm going to upload our character. Now you'll see, not seeing anything right here. So what I want to do is I want to choose upload image or upload media. And what I'm interested in is my rocker. I've already got my character created right here. There we go. I'm going to add that up. Next, I want to add the scene. So the scene I just have right here. There's our scene. And now I'm going to upload the clothing that I want to have on our character. And Warner Star 2 allows me to see this isolated. So I'm going to choose that one. There we go. Ignore this prompt because none of this prompt is valid. Now, here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a component integration. We're going to blend all of those pieces together. We're going to work with Google Nano Banana Pro because it does a fantastic job of looking at each of those individual elements and compiling them. We've drug in our character, our scene, and our shirt. And here's the prompt that I'm going to place in here. Recreate the exact scene from... Now, we want to grab the scene. What's really neat inside of Magnific is the ability to reference individual images. Now, you can have up to 14 different images. You see I've only got 3 of 14 available, or I'm only using 3 of 14. So I want to reference this image 2 as my scene. So recreate the exact scene from, and you'll notice it's ampersand image 2. So if I type in ampersand, the references pop up and I can choose image 2, including. Okay, let me read this prompt to you. Recreate the exact scene from image 2, including body position, camera angle, lighting, including the graffiti skate park under a bridge. Replace the person in image 2 with the man in image 1, including his hair, face, and body type. Make sure the man from image 1 perfectly matches the lighting, shadowing, and shadowing in image 2. Then place him in the sleeveless hoodie from image 3. Shot on a DSLR camera with Kodachrome film. Now, all of these things have come into play, and this is looking really good. We have a couple of things that we can do with this. We can add modifiers like shallow depth of field, high fashion magazine photo, natural skin, super realistic. These kind of things you can add in here. And this kind of gives you a way to refine or expand upon the prompt. Now, one thing you might want to do with this is we want to add to this a style. We can go with natural. All right. So natural is going to keep the detail in place, and it's going to allow us to then work with these image things. We'll choose generate. All right, this is what it created for us. Now what you'll notice is, look at the character, the hair that looks almost a flame with all the light on the back end of it, and the positioning. It's given us his outfit that I really like. That one's kind of cool with his hands tucked in his pockets. This is very aggressive. And that last one. So I like the ones with a lot of hair. That one's really cool, and that one's really cool. So I've got 2 in here that are just exceptional. Okay, so this is what's due to the process. This is how we go about creating our character. As you've seen, it's not that hard with Magnific to get a fantastic result. Okay, so there's several images here that I really like. I like what's happening with what we've got as our character. Number 2 and number 3, to me, were the strongest of this set. We've got our guy, we've got our outfit, and we've got our setting. What is the process by which we can now take this character and create a whole lot of other images based around this character? Where it's basically, let's take him and repeat it. We're going to use the man in the garment based on this chosen image, and I want to create 3 of the same in one scene. Here's how we do that. First, let's get rid of all of these details here. We're going to replace it with one of our characters that we just generated. And since I already said I like number 2, I'm going to work with him. There's our image. And I want to create a photo campaign around this guy. So I'm actually going to give this as a prompt. I need to create an entire photo campaign around the man and garment in image 1, which is this image here, which is right. And I'm telling it to divide out 3 images side by side. with a white line dividing it. And because of this, what I want to do is I want to make sure that the image size is 16 by 9. This wider format is going to allow me to have space to put our character multiple times side by side. Another thing is I want to have some personality. So you'll notice it says add personality and a little quirkiness to the poses. There we go. And we're good to go. We can click generate, and it's going to take this image of our character, and it's going to place 3 up on each individual page. I'm running it 4 times, and let's see the results we get. All right, I really like the results that we got with this, and I liked it so much I went ahead and set it to generate some more. Some more happening in the background, but let's take a look at these. Okay, what we're getting again is our character in his outfit in this setting with the skateboard, and each of these are exhibiting personality. That one I absolutely love, the smile on his face and the hop. I love the fact that it put the hoodie up. Brilliant. Okay. All of these are exceptional. I have some favorites. I really like the way they did this one zipped up, hands in his pocket. This one to the profile, showing you that it's a hoodie. Yeah, these are fun. And 4 more just got rendered. So let's take a look at these. Oh, love this one. Now, for those who aren't designers by trade, you might see this and think, okay, Brian, now I've got a whole bunch of images that I can't do anything with. But this is easy enough to go into Photoshop and to slice these up individually. The size of these files is 5504 by 3072. That is a pretty good size file. We can take each of these as individual, slice them out, and bring them back into Magnific and blow them up even larger. And what we've created now is a campaign that's great to use for social media. This is a great way to create a consistent character and images that look super realistic inside of AI. Love this process. This was something that was generated by my friend David Litwin, and he walked me through his process. There's a few additions and some additional things that you can do with this tool and with this workflow. You can find that on my Substack. Everything I showed you, the exact prompts, the 16 element grid, David's own full settings. I've broken all of it down step by step on my Substack so you can copy and paste instead of rebuilding it from a paused video. Link is in the description. Have a wonderful, blessed day, and look forward to showing you what else we can do with this tool.